Creating a complete database of company assets with all the necessary details and links is backbreaking even for a team of IT specialists. Even if they can do it, it can quickly happen that the structure will soon need adjustments, new item types or new data. All this makes programming a quality database an expensive and time-consuming affair. Therefore, the best option is to use CDESK, which offers you a configuration management database, CMDB, meeting the above-mentioned criteria. CMDB is an advanced record-keeping of all items with which you provide your services and ensure your daily operation. Items, wherever they are placed, are in the palm of your hand. Computers, machines, any equipment, services, buildings, workplaces, and everything else, along with documentation, contracts, repair history, and other information you want to keep track of. The unique advantage of our configuration database is its flexibility. When creating items, you no longer depend on some specialists, but you have the ability to create custom groups, item types, or user-defined fields. You can set permissions, manage SLAs and SLOs separately for each group or item type. And all this without any programming knowledge. Without a database expert, you can create a data structure tailored to your company. This is the strength that makes CDESK special. Since our database is fully configurable, you can change its name at any time, from CMDB to, for example, Devices and Services, List of Items to List of Devices and Services, and so on. Now let's look at the hierarchy and creation of a configuration database, which consists of item main groups, item types, items, and user-defined fields. Item main groups are the highest level for item division. You can view the list of main groups using the main menu, Devices and Services, or how you called your database. If you are new to CDESK, the list of groups will probably be empty, and you will first need to define the main groups for the selected categories. You can create them with a button in the upper right corner. In the form, you need to select a category and add a title. That will be shown in the list. Other fields are optional. For example, when you want to register your company's vehicles, you can create two main groups, namely to divide trucks and privately used cars. Item types are subsets of the main group that serve as templates for items. You can view the list of item types through the main menu, Devices and Services, Item Types, after selecting the main group in the left part of the window. If there are no main groups, they must be defined according to the previous step. You can edit existing types by double-clicking the corresponding line, or by selecting the Edit option from the hamburger menu. To create a new subgroup, click the Add Item Type button or the Item Type tab in the main group and then fill in the necessary fields. To develop the main group of private vehicles, you can, for example, you can make types regarding the engine type, coachwork type, etc. User-defined fields are used to specify the items. These are the fields that you will fill in when adding new items. Here you can specify all the properties according to your needs using selections list, texts or numbers, and many more. In our example, since we have created types by engine type, we will create an additional feature to the body type. We will use a custom selection list that you can add from the main menu, Devices and Services, User-defined fields, Custom selection lists. Here, all you need to do is to click on the Create button, add a title for the dial, and use the green button to add all the options you want to be available when selecting. Furthermore, we could add custom fields to the number of doors, engine combustion capacity, etc. by adding a basic property. Don't forget to add them to the item type, as they are part of the template when creating a new item. User-defined fields can be used in many other places than the database, such as requests or fulfillments, so we will show their complex functioning in the next video. List of items. In our case, List of Devices and Services is a list of individual assets assigned to a main group and sorted by subgroups, types. In the configuration database hierarchy, they fall under item types. You can always see the hierarchy of a given item in the Hierarchy tab. You can view a list of all existing items through the main menu. Select a main group or a type at the top of the window to narrow down the selection of displayed objects. When adding an item with the button in the upper right corner, you must first select the main group and type of the item to categorize the item you are creating correctly. Then all you have to do is enter the required fields and the item is born. But what can you use this database for? If we continue with our example with cars, you can, for example, record the history of work performed on the car. This is achieved by using the item on a request or fulfillment. You can then find the history in the History tab. Furthermore, you can create regular requests for these items. These will remind you, for example, of regular service and inspections of equipment, replacement of filters and other accessories, planning of a technical inspection of vehicles, and many other useful scenarios. Items can also carry an SLA, for example. A server failure has stricter operating conditions, and when selected for a request, the response date or deadline is shortened. You can create such a binding with an SLA in the SLA tab by adding an existing SLA or creating a new one. If you provide services with guaranteed availability, for example, the server will be available 99.96% of the time. Through the Scheduled Work tab, you can do server maintenance in the agreed window and the calculated availability will not decrease. You can also automate notifications about upcoming outages through Scheduled Work. You can link items together to create your own hierarchy of items. For example, if you have some applications, services, running in a certain cloud, Amazon, Azure, they work on top of the database. MS, SQL, MySQL, and are run for specific customers. These examples are far from the end of the possibilities of our configuration database and its use within CDESK. As you actively start working with CDESK, we believe that you will discover new possibilities and be able to use them well.